Hi, I'm Dr. Heather O'Leary. I'm a holistic veterinarian, and today I'm going to talk to you about separation anxiety. This is a mental emotional condition that we diagnose in dogs who become stressed when they're left alone. Some dogs get completely attached to an individual person, and if that one person isn't around, they become anxious. These dogs will often bark and whine incessantly. They will find or create escape routes. They often engage in destructive behavior that is disappointing for their human family and can sometimes be injurious. They can actually wind up needing hospitalization because they can hurt themselves so badly in their panic to escape. It's really important to understand that these dogs are suffering. They're not being naughty, and they can't be reasoned with. A dog who's suffering from separation anxiety is neurologically dysregulated. They are stuck in fight or flight. That's the sympathetic nervous system. To get them out of this panic mode requires some really careful management. I'm sorry to say that there's no quick fix to separation anxiety once that behavior chain has started. It's usually progressive, especially if not well managed with the strategies we're going to talk about in a minute. That means that it generally gets worse with time and with the age of the dog. Management is really key. Whatever else you do when you are helping a dog with separation anxiety, you have to come up with your own behavioral strategies that help the dog to avoid the panic mode. To do that, you need a behavior specialist. There are a lot of dog trainers who can help you. There's a lot of dog trainers who think they can help you. I will tell you that positive reinforcement has got to be at the root of this. These dogs are already anxious. If we use punishing behavior strategies, we're going to break the trust completely with our dogs, and we never want to do that. Why is it so hardwired? It's because it doesn't make any sense to you and I, but for whatever reason, the dog decided that they don't feel safe when they're alone. And since they're such excellent students of human behavior, they know, sometimes before we do, that we're getting ready to leave. And so once they notice that behavior chain of yours, they basically hop on that roller coaster and they're strapped in and there's no getting out until the ride is over. Like they're stuck. You can't get them off of that ride. There's a lot of ways. I told you management is crucial when you're trying to help a dog with separation anxiety. Sometimes it's so extreme that you need help. And this is a time when I think strategic use of pharmaceuticals is warranted. Not always. It's not my first choice, but it's definitely not my last choice. And I know, I don't love the anxiety meds for dogs or for people. You ever wonder why there's such an epidemic of anxiety in dogs and people? Topic for another day. But if we use pharmaceuticals, we can sort of give ourselves a cushion so that we can then start to rewire the dog's brain so that they can be in a more relaxed state and feel confident. So again, behavior specialist veterinarians are probably the best equipped to help you deal with this. But a lot of general practice veterinarians are sadly quite experienced helping deal with anxiety in their patients. Multimodal therapy is the key here, right? So management, your behavior, possibly pharmaceuticals. There's a lot of herbs and functional supplements that can help a dog to relax. It's not going to get them out of panic when they're in it, but we can start to employ some of these as we're managing the situation. So mushrooms are some of my favorites, like lion's mane or reishi mushroom. I've got a favorite mushroom supplement company. The link is going to be in the description here. They make amazingly high quality mushroom supplements for reasonable prices. Ashwagandha is an herb that we've actually got some studies that show it helps to ease anxiety in dogs. And CBD is another thing that can help. And there's actually a CBD product, there's a link to that here, that combines ashwagandha with a cannabinoid profile specifically to help manage anxiety in dogs. So that one can also be really helpful. Of course, feeding your dog appropriately so that you're lowering inflammation and giving them the nutrients that they need is going to be really important. But then outside of food and herbs and supplements and possibly pharmaceuticals, we can also get into biohacking. I know that might sound kind of crazy to you. Like, I don't really love that term, biohacking, but okay, it's there. We'll use it. We can biohack their nervous system. Have you heard of those compression shirts? There's a number of different brands. I think Thunder Shirt is the most famous. That's biohacking your dog's nervous system. It gives them a sense of security by being held and compressed. That's why when a baby or a small dog is upset, we hold them and we squeeze them and we let them know that they're safe. There are electroceuticals. PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, can do a lot to help a dog reach a state of relaxation. Personally, I love Beamer devices. I use them and I sell them because they work really well. They're also pretty pricey. There's a device called the Calmer Canine Loop that was developed specifically to help with separation anxiety, and I very much recommend using one of those strategies. My magical phototherapy patches, if you've been around my world at all, you know I love my phototherapy patches, and they have worked outright miracles with some of my patients and actually my own dog. Jackpot. Another story for another day. I hope you stick around. So I hope you've learned something about separation anxiety and how to manage it. It's really complicated. It can be really frustrating and a bit scary. If you want to talk more about your dog and ways to prevent separation anxiety from developing in the first place, if you're on Facebook, come join me. I have a free private Facebook group called Happy Hairy Holistic Pets with Dr. Heather. And if you want a link to the full blog, that's on my resources page in my website, drheather.vet. Get on my newsletter list and you'll get all these resources delivered right to your inbox, and you don't even need to worry about whether you've missed this. So if you have anything to add to the conversation, comment. If you've had a dog with separation anxiety, you want to tell me about how you managed it or just how hard it was on you and the family, we can have that discussion, and I'd love to hear from you. Thank you, and may you have an anxiety-free day.